little bit late. I would like to call the meeting to order. This is,
And I would like to state that I am recording the meeting.
thank you.
Got it? You have to do this. You have to do this. You hit got it. Got it. There you go. So this is Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Everybody's all set to go. Do we need to say we're starting the meeting again, or is it go?
It's recording right now.
It's recording, great. Erin said she's gonna be a few minutes late. Basically, she's asked that we go over do the executive minutes when she gets here, and I have no problem with that. So let's start off with the director report, please.
Okay, certainly. First, I want to thank you all for being here for a special meeting, and I wanted to apologize that this is on a special meeting, and that this was an oversight on my part with the budget. When I presented the operating budget to you, I did not have the supplemental requests in the packet that I sent to you. So I would like to go over everything tonight.
Can we just explain like how that means 130,000? If you could just explain how, when we not all asked about it, like how did that happen?
So we were looking at the operating budget at the last meeting.
Yeah.
And the supplemental requests are entirely separate from the operating budget. So when I put this all together, that was missing from the trustees packet. Again, an error on my part, an omission, an accidental omission on my part. So when I realized that that was not included in the packet, that was shared with the board immediately. So, again, it was an error on my part. So I'm hoping that this will not take too long, because this has the budget proposals that we're going to be going over tonight, the operating budget, the supplemental requests, and the budget narrative. We've either gone over them already, or they should look very familiar because they're basically copied and pasted from last year's supplemental requests. So at last month's or earlier this month, we went over the operating budget, and I'm happy to go over that again, but nothing has changed since the last or the first time you saw it.
This is the one item that you wanted to notice, is that incorrect?
The FY24.
Yeah, because then you saw.
Yeah, but she had explained why.
Correct. There's no correction. It's actually not an error. No, it's not an error.
She had left something out.
No, so FY25 versus FY24. FY24 has a line in there for audiovisual materials, and that was under purchase of services. In FY25, we pulled it from purchase of services, which didn't make sense, and we put it into our materials budget.
Okay.
So you'll see the increase from FY24 to FY25 in the materials line, the books and publications line.
Thank you. I just remembered there was something that Donna had correct, so I just want to know if there was going to have one change. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a little note there too, to explain that.
So any other questions on the FY25 library budget proposal? Perfect. So I would like to get a vote on this so that when I present it to at the budget summit, we're all on board.
I can make a motion for us to accept the FY25 library budget proposal that whether it is presented. Ready to tell you the amount, or is that sufficient?
And I will second that.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye.
Perfect.
Thank you. Can I just ask one question? after this?
Absolutely.
Your meeting on February 3rd, did you get the determination of the time slot, our time slot is that?
Not yet, but I have not checked my email since 5.
Oh, you don't have to do it right now. I just didn't know if you had gotten.
We were wrapping up the draft today, so if we haven't received it yet, I'd say in the next couple of days.
Oh, great, just for, you know.
And I will just say that I've had a death in the family, so I might not be able to attend the budget meeting. Otherwise, I would be there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Susan.
Thank you for listening. So moving on to the next item on the agenda is the supplemental requests. So while this is new to you, this evening, it should look very similar to what you looked at and approved in FY '24. The only difference is instead of asking for one circulation assistant, which I did last year, I'm asking for 2 circulation assistants this year. So 1 full-time position and 2 part-time positions. So you'll see the justification and the essential functions outlined in the chart provided to you. But we need more bodies in the building. You know, there are demands on our services are going up, our circulation is going up, programming is going up, our attendance is going up, so we need the bodies in the building to do that.
So just let me, I'm figuring it out now. So this reference librarian times 2 really isn't 2 different people. It's just the first half of the year and then she'll get an automatic increase at 6 months.
Correct, they'll, that's.
He'll get an
that's
automatic
that
increase
too.
at 6 months.
Correct,
Okay,
after their first.
okay. And are these benefited positions all 3?
The
all
full-time
2?
position is, which is that additional funds needed for a full-time benefit, but the circulation assistants, they're
Full-time
part-time, so they are,
benefits for this person.
so they are not.
Okay.
And with this person would there be able to be more outreach into the community
Correct.
like you're doing now with, Gregory Street?
Correct. Yes, so outreach is always a goal. And I'm hoping that once we have more folks to be in the building, we can have more folks out of the building, so we can get back in the classrooms, we can increase our homebound services to our seniors, but also to maybe stay-at-home moms who don't have a car. So really getting the library out into the community. So the only updates to this, like I said, was the number of circulation assistants went from 1 to 2 being requested. And then we did bump up the wages from FY '24 rate to FY '25 rate. The 2.5% raise. So any additional questions on the supplemental request?
I think so. I'm just trying to add it up.
I apologize because I shouldn't remember this when we had the last time. What happens when we get to the finance committee? They can pass your budget and not pass this part of it. Is that right?
Correct.
Because it's all voted on separately?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. I do remember that.
My numbers are too scribbled.
Right.
And this year, the school's gonna be asking for about 750,000, so I think we'll have a definite hard no on this.
So we won't know until we ask.
Well, no question, but it's gonna be tough, it'll be a tough go given the police, the fire, the school, and Masco's gonna be asking on the town meeting, what, 25 million, 25,000, 25 million,
capital.
the capital, so it's gonna be a heavy year for taxpayers, it's gonna be tough.
It is. But that, it's my job to advocate for the library.
Oh, of course.
And
I'm just saying it's gonna be tough, but
it is, it's tough every year,
Yes.
we
question.
pull in tight budgets.
So
Yeah.
I'm bad at math, so this is a question.
Okay.
So you've got 25,490 and 26,759. That's one salary for 1 year.
Correct.
Okay. Then you've got 30,656 and 30,656 for the second one. Or are they each 15,000?
They're each 15.
Ah, okay, that's what I was not getting.
That's the total for 2.
That's what I was not understanding. Okay, thank you.
And then another 30,000 for benefits, right?
Right, for the full-time.
Right, but I was just coming up with more than 82,000 because I counted the 30,000 twice because there were 2 people.
So the 30,000, that's not, so the 82,905 that's in bold, that's what we're requesting be added into the library's budget.
Right.
The library's operational budget, which is what we took a look at
Right.
just a moment ago. The $30,000 is additional funds the town's going to need to pay for the benefits for the employee.
I understand that. Okay, it was the times 2. I thought the 30 was times 2.
No,
not
2 circulation
15.
assistants
Yeah, okay,
at 12
Got it.
minutes per week.
okay.
Any other questions?
And would the, yes, would the reference librarian be a degreed librarian?
not necessarily, we're obviously put MLS or degrees preferred. But if someone comes in with reference librarian experience and we don't have a degree librarian or they don't have reference experience, or whatever, I do base hiring on experience more than a degree. If someone has years of library experience and they're fresh out of school, I'll take the experience. over
So
the
you
degree.
would pay a degree librarian or a paralibrarian the same salary? and the
No,
same
so if you
benefits?
remember back to the steps that we voted into, there was a breakdown of non-degree librarians and degree librarians.
Uh-huh.
So this is for a degree librarian, this request
This
here
request is for a
is for a
degree
degree
librarian.
librarian. If we
Okay.
hire someone without a degree, it will be slightly
It will
less,
be
but
slightly
this is, this is biggest request, much, the max that we would need to fill this position. It could come in slightly lower.
Now, can I just ask a question that I guess maybe to you, when do they expect like the new town town, whatever you call it, the
Master
town,
plan.
no, the town, the fire
The
station, the
center.
police,
Right, the master
the
plan, right.
complex. When does that expected? Because will that affect the busyness of the library if they have meeting rooms there?
So, no,
Okay.
because our meeting room, right now, we are cutting back on our programming.
Because,
That we're not able to offer the max program that we'd like to because of the amount of time that our meeting room is being used.
okay,
So there's other things that factor into that.
yes,
That's not the only thing, but a big reason is because our meeting room is in such high demand. We
Okay.
don't have the space.
okay, that's, so that. I mean, and I'm probably not gonna be ready in 2025 anyways, but. I was just wondering if that's gonna cut our numbers down.
I don't think so.
Okay,
And we'll
The
need
number of
those,
meetings, yes. The number of attendance, no.
okay.
and we'll need those new people in order to run the extra programs.
Correct.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. Anybody want to do a motion? Anybody have anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve the supplemental budget request.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
So the final item to look at tonight is the narrative. So that includes just some highlights. Excuse me. For the past fiscal year. FY 23 and then FY 24 to be. So you can see some accomplishments in there. You can see our goals for FY 25, goals and objectives. But also too, there are infographics included, which FY 23, for whatever reason, is not displaying inside the narrative, so it's attached as a separate file. But all of those will be presented as part of my budget requests. So I wanted to show all of that to you, see if there's anything that you can think of that I may have left out for accomplishments and goals.
The only thing I noticed is that under fiscal year 2025 goals, is that a completely separate list? Because there's something on this list that's repeated earlier on in your narrative. So I wondered if it was intentionally done.
Correct, yes.
Okay. That was my only question.
Excellent.
Anybody else have anything? Somebody like to make, yes, please.
Do I have to make a separate motion already for the infographic? I thought you had to send.
It's all part of the
It's
same
okay, it's
narrative,
all
it's
one?
just for whatever reason,
Because
sending it to
you
you.
had said, I just didn't know if you needed it.
But it's what will be presented to the town, that is in
As a
the
whole.
narrative.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the narrative that you'll be presenting to the town this fiscal 25.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you, folks.
Is that it? Great, wonderful. Okay, let's move to the executive session meeting notes to approve that.
Which I believe I did not even bring, I left them. Michelle, you have it? Yep. I do have it and I left it at home. That's what I'm saying.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
Believe it or not, this is clean up.
All right, anybody have any discussion, any thoughts? any
Well,
motions?
I'll tell you what, after last discussion, which was quite thorough, I'm gonna make a motion that we accept these as presented. Because after that discussion, Erin said, you know, I'm okay with it, and Maria was okay with it, so I'm gonna make a motion that we accept it as presented.
I second that motion.
All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
those opposed,
Did you say aye? Somebody said aye.
she said aye, and it's opposed.
Oh, we didn't be careful with that. Jessica will tell you that.
Although I am opposed to it.
Susan, you're
I'm just,
passing, okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
you know, abstain or whatever.
That's fine, so basically, this, again, this is a 2-2 situation, so,
And I just like to say that I know we were last time, and I feel like I just kind of rolled over. I'm just trying again to just say that I would love it to say Miss Bennett apologized to Miss Pecos Hanson for her perceived actions. I would love that.
we'll make a motion.
Okay, I'd make a motion for the minutes to be amended to say Miss Bennett apologized to Miss Pecos Hanson for her perceived actions during candidate.
You wanna second that? I'll second it. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
No.
Again, from what I understand, when there's a 2-2 vote, it just stays and we'll push it forward to the next time.
Should have this discussion again in another meeting.
I guess.
Why don't we just keep talking about it now, come to an agreement? I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
the
have to-
minutes,
I
for
just want
goodness
it on
sake.
the record that that was my behavior. I feel very strongly that my name, I don't like that.
Did you say at the beginning that was your behavior?
That it said that my behavior, my actions went.
Said your action, I don't think it's in the behavior.
Behavior, I'm just saying,
Let's
It
look at
didn't
it
say
again.
behavior.
It didn't,
actions mean
it says for
behavior.
her actions, it doesn't say behavior.
Can you show me where it is, please?
Absolutely.
And I just-
And then why mark it?
Otherwise it's just gonna
It's
continue
the
to come.
First bullet point on the second page.
Thank you.
That
Yep, I do have it, thank you. I've read it 5 times and I still don't know where it is.
So I
was
just,
a few weeks ago.
like I said, it's my name. Multiple people were there. You can see the recording. There were no actions. It was your perception of my actions. It's my name and I'm asking you to
Well,
please. I don't want to go into the big detail.
you don't have to go into the detail, but if you're speaking, I'd like to speak because it was towards me. There was recordings, but there's multiple people that will say that they heard all of that. See, my son himself was sitting right behind you. So unfortunately, he perceived it, and it was very hurtful and humiliating. Because I just wish that you would just say, you know what you did, Erin, just let it go. I mean, you know that you made those sounds. Even afterwards, when I was standing with Sue, I said, Erin, why did you grunt and make sounds like that and flay yourself around? You said, whatever, and walked out the door.
I absolutely did not
What did you
say
say
that.
then?
I didn't say anything because I was shocked and surprised that you even said that. But I don't want to
Of course I
rehash. I don't want to rehash.
We're gonna have to rehash it
Nope,
at the next
So
meeting.
just, no, we can just keep it as you wish. I just want it on the record. I don't approve that. That is not, that
Well,
was
wait a
not my
minute, I'm
behavior.
confused now.
So somebody, we have to
Yeah,
have.
make a
we have
motion.
to-
I make a motion to accept the minutes the way they are.
I second that motion.
Go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye, there you go.
Oh,
I just know that that was not. It is, and I feel very disappointed.
Why would you, I just have to ask this question. I'm
But
so
but
sorry.
you, Donna and Susan need to vote in order to make that an official vote. We have 3 yeses, but we don't have your vote.
Because I just don't want to keep talking about it. I
But
just,
if you don't agree with it, why would you vote for it? That doesn't make any sense
Because
to
I
me.
don't
If you want it on the, if you want it on the record that you don't agree with it, you should disagree with it.
I do disagree, but I just feel like it's gonna be 2-2, and I don't wanna talk about this every single meeting. Do you have any insight?
You're already making up my mind whether I'm voting for it or not. I was going to vote to pass some things as they were,
Now that really.
considering the fact that I thought you were gonna say you didn't agree with it.
I don't agree, but I don't, for the sake of our,
So let me just say,
This is insane.
let me just,
But the vote is already
let me
made.
just say an
Excuse
analogy.
me, Allison, one moment. The vote has been made. I
No,
mean,
it's not
isn't-
completed because Donna and Susan have not voted.
We'll let them vote then.
I was just gonna say that,
Well,
when we
that's what
say
they
you're
want.
lucky. Aaron's lucky. There's good luck and bad luck. We're not defining, or Allison's luck. They're not defining whether it's good luck or bad luck. So there are actions. You apologize for your actions. It could be good actions or bad actions, and it could be different in each of your heads, but that doesn't mean you didn't take action. So we're not voting for what kind of actions they were, we're just voting that you had an action.
The wordsmith speaks.
I just think it's so ridiculous, but I don't want it for everyone's sake and my mental health, I don't wanna drag it out and drag it out. Yes, let it go, let me go.
So then we need Donna and Susan's votes.
I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I didn't know we would have to.
I'll
break
go
this.
for it to stay the same.
Right.
And Susan, are you gonna decline or not?
I'm just gonna abstain.
All right. So passes.
Read it.
Four,
No,
four,
so I'm sorry.
four with an abstention.
Getting confusing.
Stephanie, did you catch all that, or do you need?
Four.
All right, next meeting. is Going to be February 12th, just a couple weeks.
Good. So,
I want to thank you all for coming again,
thank you.
and I'd like to,
Can we make a motion to adjourn?
yes,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
And second,
all those in favor?
I'd like to ask you,
Aye.
Tom, if you're ready to sign these?
No, I am not. No.
Can I ask you to sign my